Hello, and thanks for taking the time to watch my latest video. Um, this video really is going to be all about sales, so hopefully that if you're involved in the sales and marketing industry, hopefully this video will help you on your way a little bit. Um, I do sales and also marketing for several companies in my local area. So I think I know a fair bit about it, and hopefully some of what I'm going to lay out to you, hopefully some of it will be of some help. Um, I'm going to talk primarily about when you're actually in front of people, when you're actually perhaps in someone's house, or you go around and or perhaps you go to like their office and you're giving them a quotation. I'm going to go through really what that person is looking at in you. In my opinion, what is going to make that person buy from you is going to be really three different areas. That the person that you're in front of is going to be looking at you. What sort of person you are. Are you approachable? Are you well dressed? Are you polite and courteous? Have you got a personality? Are you creating a good vibe? Um, they're also going to be looking at the company, obviously the company that you represent, yeah. And finally, which I think is also a big factor, is the price. Now, some people will argue that the best salesman in the world can obviously get the best price, always. But I don't necessarily believe that is the case. I honestly believe there's three parts to the sales process. There's the person, you have to be liked, the company that you represent, that you appear professional and that you know what you're talking about, and then the price. Now, taking these three items into account, you're not always in control of everything. But the first one that you are in control of is you. So when you walk into the house or walking out, obviously you might go to a meeting. You need to make every effort with your appearance. Are you well dressed? Are you well groomed? Are you clean? I know it sounds silly, but some people, they might go to a house and they smell basically. I mean, obviously, this is people don't want you in your house if you like that. So it might seem obvious, but it's a mistake that people make. Yeah, you've got to go in there and you've got to look the part. I don't say that you've got to go in there and overplay the wearing of the suit and looking too official. Sometimes that can scare people off. I often, when I go into people's houses, I might just wear a pair of smart jeans with a smart pair of shoes and like a nice shirt. That way you don't come across too official. But at the same time, you want to come across that you are a well dressed person. You know, Years ago when I used to sell windows, I would always walk into a house carrying a suitcase, carrying a briefcase. Nowadays, I don't do that. Sometimes I might just carry a folder. And once I've actually got into the property and I've started talking to them and I've built a bit of rapport, then I'll say to them, I'm just going to pop out to my car and get my case. That way you're going out and you're coming in. You're not standing at the door with a suitcase. It can be a little bit, sorry, I keep saying suitcase, a briefcase. It can be like a little bit intimidating. So, when you go in the house, be yourself. Hello, thanks for inviting us in. I'm Colin. Um, we appreciate the fact that you're letting us come round and give you a quote. These people have invited you into their home. Find out where you can sit and basically be polite. Be courteous and thank them for obviously thank them again for inviting you round. Some people might listen to me and think, oh, this is you're crawling. You're not. You're building up a persona of the sort of person that I believe these people might buy from. If you just go in there and you sit where you like and you act how you want to act, and these people they're not gonna entertain you. They're gonna want you to go. So be courteous at all times. See, this is something that you're in control of. How you are when you're in that house. You are in control of that, not the company that you work for or the product that you sell. It's you. And I believe, I don't know whether it's a third, possibly 50% of the sales process is going to be down to you and how you come across. So, if you've got to reach, say, 90% to get a sale and you get 50 out of 50 on your appearance, you're already over halfway there. Yeah, so, be courteous, just come across genuine. You obviously want to be genuine. Don't lay it on too thick, but just obviously be polite. Um, the second part is perhaps which we talked about earlier, is obviously the item that you're selling. Now, if you're selling something, I've seen it before. I know I did it. When I first started, I would go into a house and someone would ask me a question and I wouldn't know the answer. You're selling the product. Now, you need to know your product, whatever it is. You might be selling a window, you might be selling an air conditioning unit, a house alarm, whatever it is you're selling, you need to know that item inside and out. Any question that they can fire at you, you need to know the answer and you need to be able to give the answer and give it clearly with no shadow of a doubt in your mind. So these people look at you and think, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. They're not going to buy from someone who says, yeah, I'm not too sure about that. Straight away, you've thrown a spanner in the works. You need to know what you're selling and you need to know it in and out. Before you go in the house, at home, do it with your wife. Sit there and write down, some sort of questions. Get her to ask you questions about your product and practice giving the answer. You know, Even people who are natural salesmen, who have got that that ability to talk to any person on any level, they're still going to do better if they practice their answers. Yeah, so you need to really practice practice your answers and know them inside and out, and give reasons. Don't just say, oh, this does that. You need to tell them the benefit of them having that product. Yeah, people don't buy products. They buy the benefit it's going to give them. It might be like back to the air conditioning unit. This air conditioning unit is the best one on the market. It's going to keep their conservatory nice and cool. Yeah, the benefit to them is they're going to enjoy being in that environment more. Yeah, you need to sell the benefits. And then the last one, which I think was my my downfall, if you like, in my early days doing sales, was price. I'd often get the deal. And you'd walk out, and you might walk out with a £4,000 deal, but I might have had to sell it at 5 grand to earn good money. I was always throwing away my own money. Yeah, well, this is the difference I think between earning good money at sales and earning what I call mediocre money. Yeah, I honestly believe that selling is easy. Yeah, selling is easy. What is difficult is selling at the right money. Yeah, being able to sell a product at the right price, a price that you can earn money. Because from my way of thinking, when I was selling windows for different companies and conservatories or whatever it is I was selling, the only reason I'm in that house wasn't for the company. I was in that house for me and my family. Yeah, I wanted to walk out that house with a cheque and to have sold that product at a good price. That I was going to earn £300, £300 or £400, sometimes £1,000. You know, as much as you can when you're self-employed like I am. You know, you might earn £1,000 one week, and obviously the following week you don't earn very much. So you need to, you need to learn how to upsell. You know, so again, you really need to, you need to tick every box. You know, with the price, they're only gonna think that's only going to become an objection. That's only going to become an objection if you've not built it up high enough. Yeah, it's like it's like you stand in a burger store. I know it's different, but it's much the same. You know, you're standing at a, I don't know, you could be at a fair one night with your family, and the guy's standing there, and you're there with your wife and your children, and you're all hungry, and there's a bloke standing there. He's got a big burger stall, all the lights over it, and he's doing hot dogs for £3.50. So it's going to cost you 14 quid if you're all going to have one. £14. Time you have a drink, it's going to cost you a score. But you think, you know what? You're all hungry. That £20 becomes of less importance because you want that hot dog. Well, selling windows or whatever else it is you're selling is exactly the same. All you've got to do is make that money worth less than the benefits they're going to get from having that product. Notice I didn't say the product. It's what their money is worth to them compared to the benefits that the product is going to give them. So if it's double glazing, you're talking about, the house is going to be more secure. The house is going to, it's going to save on energy. The house is going to look nicer. When they move, they're going to find it, if they do move in 4 or 5 years' time, they're going to find it easier to sell their property. Look, don't just take my word for it. Talk to the best salesman in your company and say to them, I need to list every single benefit our product has. And if you walk out of that house without that person knowing every single benefit they're going to get from having that product, if they don't know every single benefit that they're going to have from getting that product from you before you give them the price, you've not done your job properly. And if you don't get the sale, you've got to afterwards say to yourself, I didn't deserve to get the sale because I've not done what I should have done. You can compare it to anything. Compare it to going on a date with a new young lady you just met. There's things you've got to do. You've got to impress her. You've got to, there's things you've got to do. How you talk. You're on stage. Yeah, you're on stage. So, I hope you've learned something from this. I know that when I first started selling windows, I had a similar sort of one-to-one with my manager, and he did actually go over these 3 things with me. He said to me, always make sure you look the part. Don't overdo it, but you look the part. Products. Always make sure you know everything there is about that product. Yeah? And the price, well, again, you need to have covered every single objection that they might have regarding the price in their mind. Especially if you've got a husband and wife situation, the husband's always going to be, usually the husband's going to be sitting there and he ain't going to want to spend. Even if he believes it's the right thing to do, he's still going to have that little man in his head telling him to save, 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 save. Yeah? But normally the wife, she's the one that's sitting there with the brochure in her hand, your company brochure, and she wants to buy. And all you've got to do is, in the nicest possible way, is play them against each other. When you say to the wife, what is it you like about our products? You might say, oh, well, I know it's, obviously my house, I know it's not secure at the moment. We've had break-ins in the area. if she mentions that there's been break-ins in the area, then without um, being nasty, you need to make her aware of the fact that if she has your product, that ain't going to be an issue. Now, you can't put a price on that. You know, you don't want to start saying to the woman, well, what would you do if you woke up in the middle of the night and there was a man in your kitchen holding a carving knife? You know, that's taking it too far. You know, because I've heard horror stories where like reps have said things like this. You know, what would you do? You know, that's scare tactics. You don't want to go down that route, and you don't need to. All you need to do is say to them, say, obviously, I understand that, you know, when we first started talking about why you were thinking about having double glazing or whatever it is, you mentioned that obviously you felt a little bit insecure in your property. Yeah, say it in a nice way and say to them, this hopefully if you do decide to go with us, yeah, we'll make sure all our locking mechanisms are top of the range. You ain't gonna have that problem. You're putting her mind at ease. You're ticking them boxes. Just keep ticking them boxes. Find out what her needs are, what their needs are, and you keep ticking the boxes. And like I say, if you work on all those three things, how you look, how you speak, that you're respectful when you're in the house, you don't come across patronising or anything like that, just concerned, you're halfway there. You're halfway there, and take the time. Don't think you're going to rush in the house and rush out of it in 40 minutes with a 6-7 grand deal. You can't do it. If I had to work 2 leads and I went on the first lead and I thought that first person, I had a good chance of that first one buying, I'd send a text and I'd put the second lead off and I'd try my hardest on that first lead. Yeah, because you cannot rush a sale. Yeah, you're going to go in some houses and people are going to be like, they just want it. It's going to be like, Mickey Mouse could have sold it. But 9 out of 10 times, you've got to work for that sale. And like I said to you right at the start, you're on stage. You need to really lay on how you are, your persona, your personality, yeah, your knowledge of the product, and then at the end, you need to have built the product up so high that you can justify a higher price. Because if you get it at that higher price, assuming you're working for the same sort of firms that I've worked for, the more I sold it for, the more money I made. You could sit in a house and earn £2,000. I've done that. I've sat in a house and earned £2,000, and I've sat in a house and I've earned £60, and I've sat in a house, walked out of it, and I've not earned nothing. That's sales for you. Yeah. If you're gonna take the time to drive around that person's house, yeah, and it's gonna cost you money to drive around there, make sure you are totally prepared. Everything. Tick all them boxes, because if you can tick all them boxes, you've got, I'd say, a one in two, 1 in 3 chance of getting that sale. Good luck. I genuinely hope this has been of help to you. If you like what I've had to say, and you think it might be helpful to somebody else who's in sales, please, if you can, share this video. And also, if you are interested and you'd like to hear more of what I've got to say about anything really, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks very much.